We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, bro, let me tell you how we might be so like-minded. Don't even realize it, right?
What's up?
So for starters, you got your beanie on. I got my beanie on, right?
Yep. The boy got his Puma on too.
Unplanned completely though, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something though, bro.
What's up?
Did you see that that movie on Netflix with the new movie with Julia Roberts?
Mahershala Ali.
What's that?
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, I butcher his name every time. But yeah, it's the movie, the first movie that the Obama's production company produced.
I didn't see all of it, but I saw enough. I saw enough of it to know to talk about it.
What you think about it, bro?
Bro, dope movie, trash ending.
Oh my God! Listen, let's get that music going because we got something to talk about there, bro. Now we talking.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. And Ace Kennedy, we got the heads up that we are going to be officially adding at the top of the year Instagram Live to it as well. So be sure to like and subscribe to the Instagram page.
Yeah.
Listen, man. So we were talking about this. What is the name of the movie again?
World's End. Let me see. At World's End or something. Let's see, bro.
So I wanted to pick your brain about it because listen, I've seen. So I personally, I love me some conspiracy theory as much as the next person, right?
Right.
But I think that one of the things that I was particularly interested in, because everybody's like, well, what are they trying to say? Like, because usually people will say, oh, in the movie industry, they're basically giving you jewels of what's really happening, but just undertones, right? So there's these conspiracy theories about that, right? Oh, this is end of the world thing happening. These are some things you might prepare for, whatever, though, man. But I think that what makes it seem to be even more of a conspiracy theory was that it's done by the Obama's production company, for one, though, man. So I was just kind of curious. I do think that there are several conversation pieces within this particular movie, which is why I agree with you. I thought that the ending of it was so trash for what it could have been, though.
100%. Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind.
Yeah. The ending was trash only because there was no closure.
No closure.
You had spoilers for if you haven't seen the movie. But you got Mahershala Ali and the other cat that finally meets up with Kevin Bacon because his son teeth is falling out and they need medication. And they have this intense standoff with guns, right? And they finally get the medicine, and then it goes to their little girl. They have Julia Roberts and the black chick from Industry in the woods, surrounded by deer. They finally get the deer to leave. They looking for the little girl. The little girl's back at the house. Then all of a sudden, she goes off to the house that she found, goes in the basement, finds the secret entrance, and then it goes off. Like it just was.
So my thing is, it just has so many. It had to build up to be like, to me, like an all time. Because to me, this is why I look at it. Of all the conversation jewels that they had, I thought that it was wasted with the ending. Because so this is the thing I thought that one of the things I thought that was an interesting dynamic throughout this entire movie, right, is something that I think that you and I are dealing with, that we just don't quite understand, that we wouldn't have experienced as parents, right?
Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that I think that's interesting is that this is the first movie that I've seen in a long, and maybe I'm missing out on some movies, right? But I think that this is the first movie that I've seen in a long time or ever where I see a black privileged kid, right? Like, so you think, so Julia Roberts, them, they're this white family. They're renting out this home from Marsha Ali, and not just that, the black girl. She is. He apparently is from money. He pulls up in the Bentley, and where I'm saying that she's privileged at is from the standpoint of, generally speaking, right? Generally speaking, I think that an older population, right, of black people in particular, have this where it's almost like you have this automatic, you know, you and I, we come from that, you give old folks the pass, right? You there's this automatic giving of respect, specifically amongst older black people when it comes to white people, right? And listen, I don't we're not, you and I, we're not racist to, and I feel comfortable in saying that, right? There's a certain given respect. And I think that this is one of the first times that I've actually seen a movie that I can recall where you have somebody who's young, where they're like, nah, you're not getting that pass, right? And I think that there wasn't this assumption that, and I thought that the line of the movie that really sealed it for me was a conversation that I've never seen, was that she was like, nah, listen, man, we at a point now where we don't know what's going on. It's the apocalypse. And the one thing that we don't need to do is just assume that white people are good, right? We're not going to just give you that. And I thought that it was just, I thought the fact that it was Julia Roberts as the person that she's giving this baseness off of, right? And it's Julia Roberts. She's like, I've always thought she's like the American sweetheart. So it's like, no, you can't be too trusting the white people, right? And I don't know. I know that we've seen movies where it's like they're slave movies, right? That give you that vibe, right? There are movies that are black, true black films that give you that. So I thought that it was very profound that this young black girl is given that vibe. But then it's also where her mom, I'm going to imply that she said, even though her mom wasn't in it, she said mom would even agree. So I almost implied that her mom was white also from the movie. So I thought that that was just interesting. And then the fact that this is coming from like the Obama. So it's like, it was just layers to me of conversations that I was like, wow. When I was watching, I was just blown away by, more than anybody's character was the young girl's character that had me the most intrigued, because to be quite honest, I don't recall seeing a character like her in a film before, addressing a topic and talking with the audacity, right? Like of a privileged kid though, man. And I thought that it was interesting though, bro.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I love the conversation she was having about the white girl's kids, about Julia Roberts' kids. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were at the pool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was like, I'm grown. Like I can have these conversations too. Like, yeah.
It's different though, man. Like I said, I think that this is one of those things that where I think that a younger generation, I think in general, I've always came from that generation where you automatically, where older folks, you automatically give some level of respect. And what I found, especially over the last maybe 2-3 years of being around folks who are much younger than me, right? And this newer generation, people are in their, teens, late teens, early 20s, where it's like, no, the ideologies that we had from back in the day that were passed on to us, where you have a certain amount of respect that's automatically given without it being gained or reciprocated. I thought that this was just different. It was very much representative of what some of these newer kids are about. And I thought that it was just different seeing that. Like, it was very, because you get to the point where in the movie where they're kind of standoff right from each other. You keep your people, I got my people, and then aside from that, they get to the point where now we got to start working together, right? And so then it's just that matter of, all right, well, it is the apocalypse. We can't be so trusting. Now you gotta show some trust. So man, I thought that was there were some weird things about it that made it kind of sci-fi to me. Like I didn't get the whole thing about all the deer, right? That was just weird to me. And I laughed, but I didn't get the young boy teeth just coming on out was hilarious to me.
Hey,
But I
he kept pulling them joints though.
pulling them out easy like they was chiclets, bro.
Yo, to me though, to be honest, this would have been a better series. I feel like Netflix could have had them. What's that show that was on HBO about all of us with Mando?
Yeah.
And Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best, the last.
The Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this could have been for them. And they could have worked that ending out a whole lot better.
Well, I thought that the funny thing about it, I love, it reminded me of like when a comedian does a callback where they tell you this part at the beginning, and then by the end of their stand-up, they bring you back to the original joke. And I thought that was pretty cool that this little girl was just on the hunt for trying to finish up this last little bit of friends, though, bro, and what was going to happen. And then lo and behold, they find this guy who had a bunker and they got friends. The thing that I thought was crazy is why wasn't the guy there, right? I thought that if he had the bunker, like this is the thing I think that was crazy, right? The parts that I think that are conversation pieces is the fact that, like, when you really start to get into that conspiracy, right? It's like he worked for a bunch of powerful people, right? And maybe this guy who had the bunker, he had a mansion or whatever. It's like, well, when it came down to it, the people who had all the money and the people who had all the resources, they burned down the what was it, the federal building, whatever it was that was burned down. So it's like when you watching it happen from afar, it made it seem like, oh, okay, well, if something like this did happen, the people who really are tapped in, they know and they allowed it to happen, though, bro. So it definitely had a lot of different layers, but I thought to just kind of end it so abruptly on she's sitting down in front of, like, if you just sat through and watched 2 hours of this now, you couldn't give me some closure on it. And people were like, oh, well, it's for you to piece it. No, I don't want to make it up for myself what happened. I want you to tell me your vision for this story.
Which movie do you think caused more conversation? This one or They Clone Tyrone?
So I think this one. And I'm going to tell you why. I think that They Cloned Tyrone. So here's the reason why. I think that they Cloned Tyrone calls to rehash conversations within the Black community, right? But I think that because of the diversity that's in this particular cast of this movie and the dynamics of the characters and the casting, it makes for the conversations to be more universal and more intense, right? I think that's where I think that this one But they clone Tyrone. I think that's a conversation for the black community. Whereas too, I think that this one is a more universal conversation, though.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it ain't like neither one of them is Django, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even still though, bro. By the way, did you see that they got a new Django?
No.
There's a new Django, and oddly enough, I think I saw it briefly on Netflix where I think that Django is like a whole different. I think Django might be a white guy, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta go back. I didn't look at it, but I saw that there's it's a series though. Anywho.
Bro, we gonna talk about the big topic off the cuff, bro.
Let's do it.
All right. Boy, this pains me. So the boy Jonathan Majors was acquitted of 2 charges and found guilty of 2 charges. And the thing about it is that the 2 charges that he got, first of all, everything is misdemeanor. All of them are misdemeanors. With the charges that he ended up getting charged with, he can end up with at least a year in jail. And he already lost his Marvel gig. He's already been fired as Kang. Like an hour after the verdict came out, he was fired. This burns me, bro, because I feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Jonathan Majors was perfect throughout, but who is perfect within a relationship, right? And the other thing, people want to look at him crazy because of the things that he was saying. And I feel like, you know, we don't know that level of celebrity, right? This dude is getting looked at as almost being like the next Denzel for us, right? You know, another big black actor that can do a wide range of roles. You know, he was obviously in 2 superhero franchise. He was in Creed. You know, he was in the cowboy movie on Netflix. You know, he was really taken off. You know what I'm saying? And now it's ruined because a woman stole his cell phone from him. That's what he got charged with. But
he's not the victim though, right? Let's put that out there.
What do you mean he's not the victim?
He's not a victim though.
Yeah, he is. Why would he not be, Charles?
Okay, so I get everything that you're saying. The way that I interpreted this whole thing is that he put his hands on her.
No, he didn't. He tried to get his phone back, bruh.
Okay, in the process, he put his hands on her and didn't intentionally mean to harm her. And I thought
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick. If she didn't take his phone, would anything have happened to her?
I don't think so.
Let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question, and then I will let you talk for as long as you want. Where do they do this at, right? You're telling me that this big black man assaulted you from what you claim, but you're chasing after him. Where do they do that at where you feel threatened? You feel all of these things, but you're running after the person that you're afraid of. Where do they do that at?
I listen. I don't know where the hell they do that at. I'm not saying that he is guilty. Listen. My thing is that I'm inclined to agree with you that this one hurt. I just don't want to call him victim, right? But even with that said, let me tell you this: a sidebar. I finally saw the video of him running, and it is hilarious, bro. I felt bad for laughing, but I didn't feel bad at the same time. But I think that when I look at it though, bro, like I don't know. Like if you're telling me that this man caught a misdemeanor behind his girl taking his phone and him grabbing his phone and then running off, I mean, yeah, the whole thing seems a little trivial. I thought, to be honest with you, I'm very surprised that he was charged at anything, right? Because I just thought that not even just this is a domestic thing. This seems to me like a big misunderstanding. And I'd like to believe, though, bro, that, you could tell by how the girl was starting to recant certain things that I didn't think that she thought that it was going to escalate to that particular point, though, right?
She's not the one that brought the charges. The DA did.
Right, but I think they were saying like she wasn't cooperating. I don't think that she thought that it was going to be that. But at the same time, I can at the same time see how Marvel would make a very black and white decision to say, if you were found guilty, we got to cut ties with you, because there's no way that you can put him on all these billboards in front of all these things you do, knowing that he was being charged guilty for something that was involving domestic violence.
I
just
understand that. I'm not mad at Marvel. Marvel was in a lose-lose situation.
Yes.
I'm not. This is besides that. What I'm talking about is a man lost his career because some woman took a phone out of his hand.
Well, do you think, so this is my second question for you on that then. Do you think that his career is lost? Because I don't think it's lost.
Okay. It's not lost, but the momentum. This is what I mean by that. He's going to have to, if I'm him, I'm linking up with 50, right? 50 put me in BMF, put me in.
Don't put him in BMF.
It doesn't matter.
I think he's bigger than that.
He is, Charles, but you're missing it. What I'm saying is, who is going to be the first company to put him in something?
Tyler Perry.
No, don't. See, you talking about BMF. No. Tyler Perry and no. I'm not even talking about going the Tyler Perry route. Now, don't get me wrong. I will take a Tyler Perry part. But I'm talking about for Jonathan Majors, right? He's got to go somewhere. Like 50 doesn't care. 50 is going to put whoever he want to put in anything, right? Put him in any one of the Power franchise. It doesn't matter. I don't care. All I'm saying is he's going to have to go somewhere where he's not going to receive, like the person's not going to receive any backlash. What I'm saying is Netflix ain't going to touch him right now. Warner Brothers ain't going to touch him right now. Like there's so many places that's not going to be the first one to touch him right now.
Let me ask you this though. Marvel, it was rumored that he would be recasted, right? Provided that happens, right? Because I think that the only way that he bounces back is if this girl comes out and gives a foremost, not even statement. She got to come out there in front of everybody and say, this was a big misunderstanding, whatever. But aside from that,
it's not going to change it, bro. Not going to change it.
But here's my thing. Recast. Who would you see him recast? I got somebody in mind.
I have somebody in mind who Marvel already is like really, rocking with. But first, I don't think they're gonna recast. I think Kang is out anyway. I think the way they ended Loki, which I know you haven't seen it.
I'm about to finish watching that today.
The way they ended Loki, they can just be done with Kang if they wanted to. I think they're really working to bring Dr. Doom in as the next big baddie, successor to Thanos. But if they were planning to recast, I can see Lakeith Stanfield being Kang.
He seems too skinny.
He does, but that doesn't mean he can't bulk up, for one. But when you're talking about the amount of variants that would have to be played, and like I said, he's in real good with Disney right now because he just did the Haunted Mansion or whatever it was. And then he's got the new movie out, the Book of
that does look crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying he has the fortitude to play the different variants and be dynamic with it.
I'm going to tell you who I have as my number one person. The number one person where I think, bro, this would be a flawless slide in. I think you put him in today and the series never takes a hiccup. Automatic replacement for this. You ready for this, bro? Tony Williams, bro. Put Tony Williams in make sure you got the resume updated. You put Tony Williams in right now, and it goes on like it never happened. Same size, same build, everything.
I've always,
Zero look.
I've
Put it in there right now, bro.
I've always told Tony that he reminded me of Jonathan Majors with his mannerisms and everything. I've
Put him in there right now, and you'll never. It's like this. It's like I think that the whole thing never even. Boom! It's a smooth transition. Put Tony Williams in nightcap. You got 24 hours to respond, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony would people would almost think that they went and found a lookalike or something.
I think that they would, bro. I absolutely listen. You get Tony out. Tony stays in some good shape. You get him out here, get my dude scoped it right. He out of there, bro.
Oh yeah,
that's it. And not just that, right? Because that would be his big feature one. It would almost be like all people would associate him with to begin with. He'd be Morpheus, right? He'd be So I listen. Tony Williams, easy transition,
you know what?
bro.
We need to start that hashtag on Twitter, bro.
Tony Williams for Kane.
We need to at Marvel. We need to at Kevin Feige. Yeah, absolutely.
Seamless. Listen, bro. Seamless transition. Because listen. If you describe them two in a police lineup and you put them in a book, like they would fit very similar descriptions, bro.
Yep.
Very similar.
Now a real offshoot of a person who I know is a little older. I get it, but apparently they don't age anyway. Somebody else who I could see being a good Kang is Common.
There you go.
Huh?
I can't. Maybe.
Wait. Time out.
Maybe.
Have you ever seen Common as a villain?
I saw him on John Wick, and I thought he was dope.
Okay, there's John Wick. He was also a villain. There's an Apple series called.
I didn't see it. If it's on
I know, but there's an Apple. I think it's called The Siege or something like that. The Surge or something. It's something. Anyway, he was a villain on there. Common does a really good job as a villain, bro.
I thought, now that I think about it, when I can see it if he has the menace of the John Wick. Yeah, I can see him being
with the Marvel engine behind it, bro. I think like
if he was ruthless like that, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not all the way mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
No, like I said, I understand. Like I said, I understand that he was not perfect in that relationship. Like the conversations people bring up, like him basically saying that, like, look, I'm, hey, I am in this position that I can't have you out getting drunk when you're my girl right now. Like it can't be, you either gonna be my girl or you can still go out and party and stuff, but you can't do both because like my image is now attached to you and I'm going here. And he was like, look, and he was being honest, again, recorded without his knowledge, but he was like, I have a temper, but I'm also a good man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing this and I need you to be in the class of women like a Michelle Obama, like a Martin Luther King's wife. Like I need you to be in, they're supportive of their men.
Well, he got Megan Good, and Megan Good kind of is there for me. I love me some Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
I love me some Megan Good. And the fact that she was the first lady before at a church, I think that she fits that mold, though.
She does. And I'd be interested in seeing what she does. Like I'm wondering, is she gonna stay with him?
Yeah, that would be interesting though, man. I'm not mad. I mean, listen, I like I said, I think that you're right, man. Marvel, you had to. I mean, unless he was found completely innocent.
Yeah, but I think even before they even knew the verdict, they were already talking about, like, if you look at everything, right? The writers from the Kang Dynasty had dropped. They had replaced the writers for Kang Dynasty. They were even talking about changing the name of Kang Dynasty. That's one of the new Avenger movies that was coming out. So it was already, like I said, the way they end Loki, you could really see them being like, Kang didn't kind of work.
Let me go. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. Anywho.
So we got Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
But they transition from Kang to Ant-Man, and we talking about basketball now.
Hey, listen, bro. I got a sub question. So I was having a debate with somebody when this came up, right? So the debate that I was having with somebody about when this whole thing first popped up on my radar is somebody when it was like, oh yeah, so and so is a bucket, right? Yeah. Oh, this person is a bucket. And so for me, I don't use certain terms very loosely, right? Like I don't use somebody's washed loosely. Somebody's a scrub. I don't use those words very loosely. But I also don't use a bucket very loosely because I think that there's levels to that.
Yeah.
And I told somebody, I said, Anthony Edwards is probably the next guy that I think that's on this lower tier of who I would say are buckets that have potential to move on up, right? And then, sure enough, just as sure as I'm having this conversation, it's like, yo, did you see this about and him having some chick? And she posted the messages but the DMs between them. And I don't know if this was a girl that he was just dating or whatever, but he was just knocking down. But apparently she told him that, she was pregnant. She told him that she had an abortion before, and that allegedly, not that she's necessarily in favor of abortions.
Allegedly, he has a girlfriend, and the chick so his girlfriend is pregnant, and then his side chick is pregnant. So the side chick is the one that he sent the messages to about, I'm gonna give you 100,000 to whoop-de-whoop to take care of that. So that was the allegations.
Wow. Okay. So he got a girl who got a kid on the way, had a side chick. Well, listen, what I'm wondering, I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of things about that I think, but I'm kind of curious though. Did she actually get the abortion? Or was he looking for the proof that she got the abortion and then he was going to break off with the 100 bands?
That part I don't know. I don't know. I think the issue isn't whether there was an abortion or not or whatever the case may be. I think the actual issue is that it was looking like he was pressuring her to get an abortion, right? Which is why his comments where he commented and basically said, look, I was upset at the time. And that's not what I believe. I believe a woman has a right to do what she wants to do, and I'm gonna take care of my responsibilities privately. So I will no longer comment on this. And this is one of those things. We say this a lot on the Slash Brothers podcast. I believe that all things can be true, right? Meaning that I think that he had every right to ask her if that was something she wanted to do. Because here's my thing. While I do believe that it's a woman's body and she has a right to voice her concerns about what she wants to do with an unplanned pregnancy. But I think the other party involved has a voice as well. As a man, you do have the right to have the conversation. Whether she agrees with you or not, or whatever she decides to do, that's a whole different thing. But the thing is that when I say all things can be true, I think that he was right in asking the question about it. Whether, again, going back to people posting stuff that's not public information, but him being who he is, he has to understand that this is very much a possibility that if she doesn't get her way, she's going to post it and then you lose everything. We just got through talking about Jonathan Majors. You can lose everything of people who don't have the same thing to lose from you, which is a whole different conversation of should people in a celebrity status be dating people that's a lesser value. When I less not lesser value, but not on equal status, right? You're not on equal status because one person has less to lose than the other.
So but here's the question then, because then does that go both ways, right? Because the thing I look at is this. Okay, so then that brings me to Megan Thee Stallion and the boy Party Fontaine, right?
Yeah.
And then that also, because I'd imagine, I don't count his pockets, but I'd imagine that Megan has significantly more money. But then that also has me thinking, if that's indeed true, should Ree and ASAP, because there's a wealth gap between those two.
No. This is what I'm saying. If you're going to date someone who is not of equal status, you have to be mindful of that, right? Because what I'm saying is some people cannot handle the amount of celebrity you are. Because even in the ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, right? He has to know, right, that her status is a little bit higher than his, right? So for him, it's like, look, I'm gonna hear the comments. I know the comments. I'm gonna hear. He got to be secure enough in knowing I'm not gonna entertain that stuff, right? But when you have somebody, for instance, like the Jonathan Major stuff, right? This girl didn't get there. Several instances showed that she didn't quite understand his level of celebrity, nor did she care, because she fell in love with Jonathan Majors, the person, not Kang from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? And not understanding that the actions that if I file anything or if I do this, then he loses all of that. But we're not.
To be honest with you, man. If I'm him, you could have let that go a long time ago. Like
he tried to let it go. That's what I'm saying.
Somebody to me. Listen, I think that's somebody to me that will jeopardize what maybe if, like you said, unknowingly would jeopardize the bag. I'm on to something.
That's what I'm saying. He figured that out and was trying to let her go. And again, once she didn't get what she wanted, now I'm going to blow the whole thing up. That's what I'm talking about. It's the same thing with the case with Ant-Man, is because I'm sure that him and this, and if this is a side piece, you know what I'm saying? If them two had an arrangement and now things ain't going her way, I blow up your whole spot. That's what I'm talking about. Because she doesn't have anything to lose.
I see. This is my thing about it. If okay, this is maybe I look at it like this. Okay, I think that you have to know that the way I look at it, I understand players are always on the road. I feel I could be wrong, and I don't want to victim bash or shame. It just feels like you had to know that he had a girl at a minimum, right? And so, and I say this only because I had basically saw a video pop up with Selena Powell, and she was on interviewing with the girl Tasha K. And she's basically just naming off all these people that she had basically slept with here. It seems like fairly recently. And a lot of them are married guys that I think that have been very public that they have girlfriends. And it was just like, whatever. She was side piecing it out. But she seemed like she knew that these people were married. She tried to say something like she didn't know Snoop Dogg was married because she said, here it is, Snoop Dogg is DMing her. And, he flying her out for this, that, and the other. And then she said, I didn't know he was married until he shot out his wife at his acceptance speech. And I'm thinking like, listen here, I've never seen Snoop Dogg's wife, but I know that Snoop Dogg's married.
Yeah, but you're talking about Selena Powell is in a younger generation, bro.
That's true. I get that. But my point though is this though, right? I guess my thing is in saying that is this. It feels very much like okay, you when you got a girl, right? You got a girl and you're pregnant. And I think at some point it's implying that you were messing with these two women at the same time. And when that happens, this is the kind of thing that it puts you in jeopardy when you just signed a $200 million contract.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said in the beginning, before I started my statement, that this is a case of another one of those all things can be true.
All things can be
Because
true.
if he would have never slept with her, she would have never got
You're
pregnant.
good. And that's
Right.
where I'm thinking. And here's what I think. This is the part that this is the part, because I've never been a guy where, guys say I like variety, right? If I like variety, that's variety, but I'm not going to be in a relationship and like variety, right? Just doesn't seem to make sense, because if you like variety, that seems to be something that would hold back your variety in your relationship. But I think at the same time, I'm inclined to believe that Ant-Man's girl probably looks as good, if not better, than this side chick. So then at that point, it's like, all right, now you're facing some redundancy, right? Because you're knocking down on the side a chick that's probably equal as your main girl, but now you're jeopardizing that. It's like, that's something I don't get though, bro. But listen,
Yeah, but you got a different level of access to women at his level, though, bro. I get what you're saying, but again, me and you are not in the same.
How many different? Listen, a 10 is a 10 is a 10. How
Bruh,
many
all
10s on
10s
top of?
bruh.
I get, but listen, how many 10s on top of 10s? Listen, okay, if you got your dream girl, right, and your dream girl has everything that you want, so you with this 10, and listen, she is a unquestionable 10. Everybody says it. What I don't quite get is what another 10 would do.
Charles, two things, bro. Number one, even Beyonce got cheated on, bro.
Listen.
Number two, all 10s ain't equal. Just because your girl look fine, don't mean she doing everything that other 10 is doing. So
listen, okay, but if she is,
but you doing a lot of assuming. So what I'm saying is you doing a lot of assumptions, and again, Beyonce got cheated on.
Listen, man, get you a 10 that do the most. I don't know. I get it, bro. I get it. Listen, you talk about cheating on. Okay, so we talked about last week.
Yeah.
That Cardi and Offset, they were separated. She said that they've been separated for a while. She said she hadn't been happy in a little while, or whatever, right? And then there was a rumor that, one of the reasons why was that the boy Offset, they say he slid out with Christian Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way I still don't believe that. But okay, so this was crazy. I saw a video that part of it makes me believe that they're all the way done. But it also, the same video makes me believe that it's reconcilable. Okay, I saw this video. She went live and she was going in on him, right? And she was basically saying, yeah, I got to do this like everybody say, I got to do this internet stuff because it's the only way to get your attention. It's the only way to get your ear, whatever. And I'm assuming that means that, hey, the boy Offset is out here. His album is out. I think, listen, his album is dope. I don't know if you've listened to it. It's a pretty dope album. My boy out here popping and locking, gliding going on, right? And he doing his thing. And then here it is. She's basically putting this video out there, and she is basically in near tears, though, bro. And you can tell that she was very frustrated. And part of me also, that's the part that made me think, oh, she done. But then part of it also makes me think, well, if she was that moved, like that passionate, that maybe it's because she still wanted the work and just certain things aren't allowing that to happen. But it just almost felt like it was this plea to work things out. Because I thought if you done, I'm all teared out. So I'm
but that's you saying that, but you got to understand that stuff comes in waves. That stuff comes in waves, bro. You can be straight one day and sad the next day. And and she's living through a public relationship.
Yeah.
So her emotions are like Cardi has always been one who's been that transparent to just start shooting and just saying whatever comes to mind. So that me just because she's going through that, where it might sound like it could be reconcilable, whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's coming back. because that stuff hits in waves. Because you can see another video where she gonna be living her best life, and you would be like, "Dang, she for real done."
Yeah, listen. The only way I listen. I'm waiting for the thirst traps. That's first sign. First sign that she out of there when the thirst traps happen. Second one that would make me believe is when I see her, because she, unless she decides that I don't want to have public relationships, but the minute that she's with somebody else publicly, that's when it's done. My question to you is: the game on line one?
The game's been quiet, bro.
He's been quiet.
Yeah, he been quiet. He ain't been posting no thirst traps for the ladies.
That's true.
So I don't know if he finishing up an album or something. I don't know, bro.
Who else could you see Cardi B with? See, I thought that she got to have a yang to her yin.
You know what, man? To be honest, I can actually see her being with an athlete after this.
Me too. Me too.
I think the music thing, because you know, she made some comments about Offset, like, if I mess with you, it can't be another artist, because you know, I feel like if she transitions to, for one, that's going to change her brand up, right? For instance, right? You look at what a Taylor Swift is doing with Travis Kelce, right? Whole different fan base. So I think she should be done. I'm not gonna say she should be. I think she will be done with the musician and go towards an athlete. Somebody again with status.
I think this is the thing. See, that is the big thing. This is the thing I think. I don't think that Cardi B has the personality to be like Simone Biles, where she's with a guy who's barely on the team, right? And she's perfectly fine with that. I'm gonna tell you who I think. If you're talking about football player, football wise, bro, I could totally see her with somebody like Tyreek Hill, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even though he got a girl, but I understand what you're saying. You talking
Somebody
about
like that, like a wide receiver, usually like the flashier kind of guys.
But you know who I could see her with, even though this would be a total complete opposite of personalities. I could see her with Jalen Hurts, bro.
Yeah, but it would have, like I said, I think that again, stature, status. But what I couldn't see her. I couldn't see her with the third string quarterback.
Nah.
I couldn't see her with Teddy Bridgewater.
Maybe she wouldn't even go athlete either, because they also have the perception of being, you know, habitual cheaters. So I think for her,
is there any field that you don't associate that with?
No, I could see her easily messing with an actor.
Who?
John David Washington.
I think he's too safe.
He is a little clean.
Yeah, he clean. He real clean. There are some people. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what he would say. I think that boy Offset would be crushed if she was with another rapper. Like if she was just being spiteful and wanted to be vengeful, bro. If she pulled up with another rapper, that would be, to take that in, that burn your chest, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something else I was gonna bring up to you. Oh my gosh.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
I got one for you. Are we done? Is Kanye, is he back or is he done? I can't quite tell. So Kanye went on his 15-minute rant where he was doing his typical calling out people's and basically saying everything that you could think of under the sun, right? And I've looked at people. I listen. I saw the video, and I'm one of the people that I when I see certain things, I go to the comments because I do feel like I want to see what people are saying, what the chatter is, right? And I think that I've seen people comment from, oh, that's his truth. He's speaking facts, this, that, and the other, right? And I'm just saying that I think that Kanye is so volatile right now to where I can't tell if his volatility is energy that's attracting people to him to want to follow what his next move is going to be, or if it's his volatility that's pushing more people away.
Charles, no, we're not done with Kanye West. No, we're not done with Ye, anybody, any personality under the sun of Kanye. He's not done. All Kanye got to do is drop some fire music. People are gonna be back, right? When these sock shoes drop, he gonna be back. It's bro. You need a Kanye West. He's entertaining. People like that stuff, bro. We're in the age of like he's been quiet for long enough, right? Nobody ain't heard from him, whatever, like that. I'm telling you, watch what I'm telling you. He dropped some fire music, he back.
Yeah. And so he's been dropping leaks of some of his new music, right? And this is what's crazy. I think that, like, this is the thing. I think that one of the things that's wild is when people say, oh, Kanye looks like he's crazy, right? His rant looks so off script that he looks like he looks crazy, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. All the other times that I've seen Kanye, I wasn't concerned because I always thought that it was a publicity grab, right? Something was had like you. I was thinking like, yeah, he got an album that's gonna come out, maybe another project will resolve or whatever. I think the thing that's crazy, the thing that I was more so tripped out about this particular time, it's not that he looked crazy, right? But that he looked manic, right? And by that I mean that, you know how like you could be talking about something that you so passionate about, bro, and you talk about it and you can tell somebody's eyes are lit up or somebody's heart beating fast, that somebody has so much conviction behind their words and everything like that. Like he seemed like, man, like he had this euphoric while he was talking that. And yeah, I think that he could have been talking his truth, right? When people say that, but I think that he just came across as manic. And I think that that's where people might be like, that boy, like he was off his meds, because it almost reminded me of an episode where I was watching Homeland. I don't know if you saw Homeland, but there was an episode where the main girl, she was bipolar, right? And I'm only saying this because I don't. It's the mental health aside, but she did this scene that I was like, because I was, what made me watch Homeland is that Carrie, the girl who plays Carrie, ended up winning. I think she won like the Emmy or whatever the awards was, and she won it over some other series that I was watching. I was like, this is, how in the hell did she win this? So I wanted to go and watch it because I said, well, what is this show about if that's the case though? But I saw this episode of her where she was off her medicine. When she was bipolar, she was on lithium, right? She gets off of her lithium, and bro, she looks very manic, very extreme. She goes from, and I'm talking about that. I said, whoa, I see why she won the award after that though. But what's wild about that, bro, is that in all of her manic mood swings was her conviction to everything that she was saying. And that's what I saw when I saw Kanye though, bro. I was like, yo, I ain't saying he crazy.
No,
but bro,
there is some mental stuff there because he's said it. He's already admitted to it, right? He's already said it. So it's there is some mental stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, if you are not on a strong regiment, like if you're not maintaining your regiment, there are some things that can happen. But at the same time, that's a lot of potential for creativity as well, because your brain doesn't think like somebody else thinks. So your mind becomes very abstract, and you can see things in such a different light. So I see what he's doing. He is playing, he is toting the line. And that's why sometimes he's leaning so far over the line that it's, that where we get these spots of genius, but then these like you said, these episodic explosions of stuff as well. So it all makes sense. But again, no, we're not done with Kanye. Back to your original question. So what I forgot to bring up was the boy Ja Morant's first game back is on now.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch that. So this is funny because I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna watch that, which I think I will, and then try to watch the rest of the Loki, since I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got up for the week,
yeah.
though?
Man, so this week though, man, I'm hoping that I've been getting the biggest not run around. I guess I've been having to jump through hoops to get my new desk set up for the lab though, bro. So provided that thing comes, if it came early, man, it would be so great. But I got a crazy week though, man, this week, just because I'm gonna be doing some holiday and eventing and everything though, bro. So because that's the case though, man, I got all those, you got to get everything lined on up before you start doing that. So I got that. But I think that's really, I'm prepping for the holidays, man. This is going to be a different one, but I'm excited though, man. So that's it. Gearing up for Christmas though, man. What about you?
Man, gearing up for Christmas services. We start Thursday. So, and then family will be coming in. So yeah. Same. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, man, well, listen. So we got. So even then, we won't be. Listen, Merry Christmas, bro, for the people who we won't necessarily see. I mean, we won't. By the time we pod again, it's gonna be a new year. So Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy New Year. I hope everybody is safe. I hope that everybody has a very prosperous new year. If you made them resolutions, I would love to hear what your resolutions are. If not, what I'm saying, that's cool too. But listen though, man, it's been a great 2023, and we as the Slash Brothers hope for a even better 2024.
Absolutely. Also during that time, since we won't be back on, I will have sang the national anthem for the Thunder game, which is on the 27th of December, for the New York Knicks versus the Thunder. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, that's what's up though, man. Any plans for New Year's then?
Yeah, absolutely. Ace Kennedy will be performing with Avenue on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
At Fassler, I think is what it's called. It's a German restaurant, but it's not just a German restaurant. Like it's an actual, like an event center or whatever like that. So we'll be out there bringing in the New Year. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that's all good though, man. Well, listen, man, let's get these people on. Y'all be safe out there, Slash Brothers. 2023 is over for us. We out. We catch y'all at the top of the year.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?